But you two, I think, are particularly relevant to understanding three questions I'm going to ask each of you in a rapid fire round. The three questions are: what happened yesterday? What's going to happen between now and the 28th? You get 3 minutes each for each of those. And then I'm going to ask you a third question, one word answer: who will be inaugurated on the 29th? Charlie Ward, you go first. What happened yesterday?
What happened yesterday was one of the most beautifully planned traps you could ever imagine. It was set on purpose for a number of reasons. They needed certain parts of the puzzle because there was a change in the dynamic. They knew that the corruption had been funded by Soros, Gates, Obama, by a number of people that were corrupt. They knew the Clinton Foundation, they knew where it was, but they actually wanted to find out exactly where it come from. And it turns out it had come from none other than the Vatican. So they set the trap for this beautifully, but they wanted to find the trail of it. And I'm sort of half stealing Simon's thunder because he confirmed what I was going to say anyway. And what I'll do is I'll let Simon go on to that part because he knows the full detail. But the trap was set, they fell into it. The other trap that was set yesterday, which was an absolute peach, was when they stormed Capitol Hill. When they went in there, of course, all of Trump's supporters were peaceful. And they were pushing, but there was a group of Antifa people that came in there, but also there was a group of very active Trump supporters that, whilst in the building, managed to seize a number of laptops from within the building, which have a boatload of evidence. Nancy Pelosi was in such a hurry, she left hers behind. So there's a very grateful Donald Trump right now, along with his team, that they've got about a dozen laptops that were just left on the desk.
That's amazing. Let's stop there. I will interject one thing. I heard from a source that the George Soros raid on the Bank of England was a contrived black operation intended to fully fund Soros as an agent of the crown in the color revolutions and cultural Marxism. So not only do I consider George Soros a traitor to the United States of America, but I consider the United Kingdom to be directly behind all of this at the highest levels. And Simon and I have agreed that 90% of everybody in MI6, and I love him to death, is a good person trapped in a bad system. All right, Simon, 3 minutes to you. What happened yesterday? And if you can condense your 27-minute thing in 3 minutes, that's great, because I have honored it by making it the top item in today's post.
Right, fine. 3 minutes. The important point I remember was that the same team that erected in California over a major road in California a massive signpost saying Trump are the same team that constructed a wooden cross and carried that across. So there were special operations teams, as Charlie says, that were put in there not to cause violence, but to seek to gain information, because these laptops that the Dems have are given to them, and they are all the same. They're all the same with their own code number in them. That was what that was. And in fact, even on Nancy Pelosi's office door, there was writing scrawled on there. So there was a lot of distraction there. I'm not 100% sure myself that those people who were killed, and whether it was a black hat operation or a white operation. There was a lot going on. The whole problem on Christmas Day was the understanding that the Italian government, using a number of satellites named after Leonardo da Vinci, but were leased to the Vatican. So in other words, they come under the umbrella of Italy, but they're really run by the Vatican. This was the method by which encrypted information in real time was moving stuff across the globe. That's how they did it. And the difficulty is that Italy is a member of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Now, for people who are not understanding it, it's almost impossible to conceive of an ally doing this. So it changed the game completely. If it was Russia or China, it doesn't matter. But this is a government that the Italian government could fall This could bring them down. It's also to do with the banking and that. So everything Charlie said, I totally agree with. And the operation last night also, actually, I would just add, Charlie, every legal option had to be tried. Every legal thing, so that nobody could turn around and say to Trump, well, you didn't do this or you didn't do that. And what I know that Trump then went to Texas to one of the command posts, and I can tell you that, what time is it now? 5 o'clock our time. For the last 5 or 6 hours, there has been an incommunicado meeting in that base to decide what's going to happen.
Well, that leads to the next question, but let me also interject. Charlie's won his bet. At 1 o'clock, I'm interviewing Cynthia McKinney to discuss this having been a NATO Gladio covert operation, fully funded by the United Kingdom, and with the complicity of Germany and France. This is a huge, huge thing. And the military-industrial complex is the one using NATO as a front to take down the president. At least that's what I think Cynthia's going to say. All right, here's my second question. This time we'll reverse it, and we'll ask Simon to answer first in 3 minutes. What's going to happen between now and the 20th of January?
If the same people that convinced Trump to stand as president, if they are as good as their word and they don't betray him, then there will be an executive order, there will be martial law, there will be arrests, and President Trump will be reset for another 4 years. I did that within 3 minutes.
Yes, you did. And I tell people, let me say to everybody, I worship these two guys in a manly way. And you absolutely should be following them. And you should also be embedding their BitChutes, not their YouTubes, because the YouTubes are going to go gray one day. The BitChute, where the CEO is my personal friend, we may build Web 3.0 around BitChute. If people are looking for a place to invest money, that's the place to go. So, Charlie, then last word to you. Simon has revealed his answer to my third question. So the last 3 minutes to you, and then we'll close.
Well, very, very simply, Donald Trump has 4 aces in his pack, and he still has most of his picture cards that he hasn't played. He hasn't needed to. And when I talk about the 4 aces in his pack, he's got the Insurrection Act, if he needs it. He's got the military. He's also got what people have overlooked is the fact that the war was started, which is a biological warfare. That's a crime against humanity. So he has got many, many things, routes that he could go. That's why he's taking time out today with his team to work out which is the best way. And he'll be sat with his team. He's probably got 4 or 5 or 6 options of ace cards on in his hand, and he doesn't know quite which one to play, and he's torturing them. The one thing that will become public knowledge that has not yet become public knowledge is the amount of blackmail involved with the politicians who've been blackmailed with paedophilia and crimes against humanity. That's something that will come out in the next 20 days, within the next 20 days, because there are people there that probably want to do the right thing, but haven't got the bottle to, or the bollocks to, for the want of a better word.
Let me just point out to you guys that we just published book number 4 in the Pedophilia and Empire, Satan, Sodomy, and the Deep State series. It's all free online at pedoempire.org with a tag cloud that names names. And volume 4, which was published today by design, is about North America.
Yep.
I never planned it this way, but this is one of the president's aces. We're going to make a movie. Let me end by just saying, God bless both of you. I think the world is a better place for having you both in it, and I'm honored to know you.
At least there's 2 good people in England.
Thank you. The problems is more in MI6 than MI5.
Correct.
That's my view. Listen, it's been fantastic to speak to both of you. It's great.
Good. And tell your buddies in MI5, I don't want them framing any more citizens for murder. Okay. Chris Fogarty and what they did to him has pissed me off. I don't want to see that again. But I do love the English. I go back to the 17th century in England. I want both my countries back. All right. Out here.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right.